Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Be sure to interact with the video. That means thumbs up, thumbs down, reply to each other, leave a comment, and share the video. It's especially important the first 100 of you do all of that. Otherwise, the video does not move forward and nobody ever gets to hear the information. I know a lot of you all are saying that, why do I do this? Why do I do that? I should share my information for free, but I'm broke. Coronavirus. I got the corona, or had the corona, or still have the corona. Every other minute I'm going to throw up or something. Anyway, so the media was trying to attack Bill Cosby with the co-stars of The Cosby Show, Different World, producers. So it just so happens that you're not hearing from the people that all said fantastic things about him. So the media tried their best to destroy the support of Bill Cosby, nothing more so than all of the co-stars of The Cosby Show. Except for the demoness mental patient Raven-Symoné and Lisa Bonet, all of the co-stars ignored the offer the media made to them. What was the offer? You are now 40, 50, or 60 years old and no longer in the spotlight. Come do this interview. We'll make you relevant once more, and you can run the circuit with 50 more interviews across the television. Raven-Symoné, who claimed she wasn't black, she wasn't African, she wasn't African-American, she won't hire a black chick named Guatemala Andrea, which is really funny in that scenario when that was going on. The white people around the view table said they would hire whomever, no matter what their name was. And they were sticking up for black people more than Raven-Symoné. How do you like them apples? And we're talking about the conservative chick and all of the liberal chicks. As it should be, you should hire somebody based on their qualifications, not their name. She said she wouldn't hire somebody named Waterman Andrea because it's too ghetto. And she was the only one that actually took the bait, as far as I know. Not as far as I know. There was a couple of guys that said some things, but when they said something, it came across as if they were more jealous of Bill Cosby and not so much trying to give you information about some secret thing that went on. I mean, if you're going to be jealous of somebody, Bill Cosby is a person to be jealous of. He's got it going on, right? But might I point out, the Raven-Symoné was 3 years old during the show. Child labor laws insisted you can't work for more than something like 15 minutes an episode as a child, a day, 15 minutes a day, something like that. Malcolm Jamal Warner wouldn't take the bait. He said Cosby was his mentor. He came across as a father to him. He came on the show when he was 13 years old, and all supporting actors that came to the show said it was the strangest thing ever to go onto the set where the actors and producers were all supportive. Understand that Hollywood is a den of vipers, right? You all know this. I'm not telling you anything new. So Brother Malcolm said nothing but the most positive things ever went on the Cosby set, and he said the most positive things about Cosby. I'm not going to show the interviews because about 10 different things. But copyright, no matter that I should be able to show the little clips. I'm a reporter. I'm giving you a report. But YouTube sides with Hollywood in anything copyright oriented. Although it is cut and dry that in a news report, you are absolutely free to use whatever you like, because that's the First Amendment, right? Felicia Rashad, and I want you to understand her name is Felicia. She corrected a reporter. Notice there is no E in her name. Phyllicia. Felicia Rashad said, "It's such a blessing. It's such a gift. It's such a privilege to do work that means something to people." What were they talking about? Cosby was America's dad, and she was America's mom. She said that people came up to her off of the street and were they're not just starstruck. They were taken to a place where she was their mom. She looked after them. She scolded them, and she did everything right by them. There was nothing but love outpouring anytime she walks down the street. And she says she just walks down the street by herself. Nobody bothers her. Only positive things come to her. She was a mom everybody wished they had. Because although some grew up fatherless, let's go there. Although some grew up fatherless, and Cosby was America's dad, Cosby was their dad, huh? A lot of those situations leaves them with a mother that isn't worth a pot to piss in. Somebody had to say it. Speak the truth and the devil will flee. All statistics, all surveys, all studies show that a single mom ends up with kids in jail, mental problems. They just run the gamut of absolutely degenerate society. It's not enough that there is a mother and father in the house, or that there isn't a mother and father in the house. It's way more than that. What type of person renders themselves a single parent? Now, when men get sole custody and they're the single parent, actually the child doesn't turn out bad. Which means that this shows you how important it is to have a father in a child's lives. Now, please don't come in with that tired old, he doesn't want, that is rare. That's rare. You know what more often than not happens? The woman tries to get sole custody. More often than not, she fights to get sole custody in any sort of divorce situation, or even if they don't go to court at all. She's one of those, you ain't gonna see your child, and then the child grows up to be a criminal. And that's a criminal man or a criminal woman. I'm not pulling any punches, you all. I've had people running this series, this Cosby series, I've had people message me, Cosby was my dad. I didn't have a dad. Cosby was my dad. Now, how unfortunate that they have to be put into that position. Now, more often than not, the whole situation of the dad ain't this and the dad ain't that, blah, 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 that means that you've made some life choices that weren't good enough for you to end up with a nice gentleman husband and a father to your children. First of all, you made decisions about your body that were not nice, were not moral, were not long-term looking. And please, there's nothing that you can say to me, because I believe that the woman has 100% of the power. There is no instance where there's some single mother with some baby daddy, and all of a sudden, I was powerless to resist his charms. Really? That's what you're going to go with? And your vindictiveness, a lot of times, because you want drama, your vindictiveness actually threw the relationship up into a horrible, horrible nightmare. I also have data showing that the poorest of the poor, black people, get married and slingshot into middle class. Happens all the time. There's whole surveys about it. Go look it up. I'm not your flunky. Go look it up. If you're really interested, go look it up. Broke black people marry each other and are slingshotted into middle class. So don't give me this, he was broke. Do you hear me? Don't give me this, he was broke. He was too broke for me. That's you. That's a you thing. I have the slogan, I'm your internet dad. I'm telling you, as your internet dad, was he nice to you? That's all that really matters. All of the rest of that stuff can be fixed. All of it. Especially money. That can be fixed. And that can be fixed in a hurry. Well, he never got a job. He laid on his butt. He drove my car. That's a you thing. That's a you thing. That's you enabling him. Why was Cosby America's dad? Because he gave fantastic advice. Notice that his own children never really got into really serious stuff. All of the really serious stuff that the show dealt with were people from the outside coming in seeking his advice in some form or fashion. That's the whole sort of premise of the show. There were scenarios where the children did this and that and the other. They got in trouble, but it was never anything super duper serious. Back to Felicia Rashad. When asked what she hoped the legacy of the Cosby Show would be, she said, quote, I'm kind of quoting this, "I hope the legacy would be like Nelson Mandela." Yes, the Nelson Mandela described to me that he said he was in prison and the guard watched it with him, and this racist, evil guard, his heart was softened by watching the Cosby Show with Nelson Mandela. Folks, Felicia Rashad dropped a 50-kiloton bomb on that interviewer. This is why you don't see her in thousands of interviews. Oh, you want me to take the bait? I will take the bait, and I will give you what you really don't want to hear. That the most respected man on the planet watched Bill Cosby, and the people around him in apartheid South Africa were affected by Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show to such a degree that they were not the same people after watching the show. TV show, just a TV show. She said, I counted a blessing, a gift, and a privilege to do work that means something to people. So many of us actors do stuff that mean absolutely nothing just for a paycheck. Keisha Knight Pulliam came off The Apprentice show by Trump to be asked about the allegations, to which she answered, no one but the two people knows what actually happened. All I can speak on is on the man that I love and respect, who is blameless for anything concerning me. She grew up into a gorgeous, classy, fantastic woman, lady. There's a complete difference between lady and woman, right? There's a whole lot of women running around, not a whole lot of ladies running around. Grew up into a fantastic lady whom I wish every black woman could be like. When she was cut off to be asked if she was shocked by the allegations, she was cut off in the mid-sentence saying how fantastic Cosby was, how fantastic he was on set, how fantastic he was to her. No. Were you shocked by the allegations? She threw it right back at the interviewer and said, they're just that. Allegations. Folks, let me pause right here. At the end of the day, everything was an allegation. That was it. They went to court. They had a trial. And the only thing that they presented were allegations. They had no evidence. They had no proof. They had nothing. And all of the actual facts of the case all pointed in favor of Bill Cosby. She texted him 20,000 times after the supposed incident. She went back to his house 60 more times after the supposed incident. All of this circumstantial evidence points towards Bill Cosby being innocent of any sort of allegation. And that's all they had. Allegations. All of you people go, I can't believe that he's a moral scum and I just can't believe. It's an allegation. Grow up. Put your big pants on. Be an adult. It's an allegation. That's all they got. That's all they ever had. I can't believe 40 women would. Some of y'all say 60. Some of y'all say 100. Some of y'all say 200. You ain't got even got the number right. I can't believe 40 women would lie. You can't believe 40 women would lie? For $100 million, you don't believe 40 women would lie. For $100 million, I would very much be tempted to. I would be my good Christian soul would be very tempted, and I made a vow to God never to lie. My good Christian soul would be very tempted to lie for $100 million? Are you insane? I'm asking you, are you insane? Do you not know? First of all, did you take a look at the women? Half of them smoke this, and that, and the other on a consistent basis. Let me put it to you this way, if you're unfamiliar, because now I live in this environment where people smoke this, and that, and the other. They walk up and down the street talking to themselves, cursing out ghosts. You don't believe 40 women would lie for $100 million? What are you on? But let's return to the lovely, vivacious Keisha Knight Pulliam. She said, "We live in America, where we're innocent until proven guilty. I'm not going to get into this court of public opinion that declares him guilty with absolutely no proof." She hasn't been on an interview since. Now, the great Debbie Allen was asked to throw Bill under the bus, but she said she and Felicia Rashad had nothing but positive experiences with him. He encouraged them, as women, to move on up, step forward, be encouraged. She said he did that to every woman he encountered and his daughters. When asked about her sister Felicia Rashad, she said she doesn't talk about Bill in that way because he was basically Saint Bill Cosby around them. There was never this. We're talking about the allegations. Although the media writes headlines after headlines talking about the dark secret they all kept hidden, she said basically that was a lie. The Cosbys were ultra professional, ultra positive, ultra encouraging to both men and women. And any actors on both A Different World and The Cosby Show came on to have their heads put into the clouds about an amazing experience working on a Cosby production. And what he did for the reputation of black people worldwide was greater than almost everything done in the 60s on up. Now that's a quote that you can write on your friggin' refrigerator, huh? Finally, Sabrina LeBeau gave a rare interview who never talks to the media. She had absolutely nothing to say about Cosby other than the most wonderful things. She knew she was playing his eldest daughter, so the two became friends. She was put before Cosby by the producers. No casting couch, no Weinstein garbage. Cosby took one look and refused anyone else for the part. Why? Because she had been studying acting since she was in high school. She was serious, and he rewarded hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, they went to the co-stars. They made them an offer. Come, get in the media. We'll interview you. You can hawk whatever you're doing right now. Oh, you have a charity you want everybody to donate to? Come get on our interview. As long as you throw Bill Cosby under the bus, because we want the clicks. We want the views. And all of these co-stars said absolutely not. Ladies and gentlemen, these 40 women, half of the women said nothing actually happened, right? So the number 40, first of all, is a lie. Go back and look it up. 20 of them said absolutely nothing happened. Nothing like that. Nothing. They saw him at a party. That's it. The media made up the 40 number. And the people who they've actually put on the stand, 2 of those women actually confessed that nothing actually happened. They made it up. They put them on the stand, they confessed they made it up, and still nothing happened to them. I want you to give me your best guess what would happen if you got onto the stand and said, "I'm sorry, I made it all up." What do you think would happen to you? No, you're not on trial. The person you're accusing is on trial, and you say, "I'm sorry, I made it all up. Nothing happened." What do you think would happen to you? Leave me a nice comment below. I thank everybody for going on this journey with me. I will keep you abreast of the state Supreme Court trial. Thank you.